Hey, welcome to the Big Bite here with Sunny and Shay on Brit Asia TV.
And as always, coming up on the show a little bit later on, we've got lots of celebrity and entertainment news with you. But we're starting off the show today with two fantastic individuals who have gone out of their way to find Sikhs across the UK who they feel are not getting enough support in the field of work. Their names are Sukhi Singh and Jatinder Singh, and they're from SikhEntrepreneurs.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. SikhEntrepreneurs.com, it kind of says what it does on the tin, really. It's all about bringing out Sikhs across the UK. But tell us a little bit more about why you set it up.
Yeah, we originally set it up because we just felt that there was a kind of gap in the market, if you want to call it that, about what the Sikhs in the country are doing. I mean, we contribute a lot towards this country. There are loads of people out there that do stuff, but we don't always know who they are, what their businesses are, what they're up to. So we thought it'd be a good idea to set this platform up where we do actually get the entrepreneurs out there, get up and coming individuals, businesses, people in personal development and business, just getting the message out there about what they're doing.
And how's the response been for the people who contributed so far to the website? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think, this is done before, or well done?
It's definitely been something new, something different. I mean, if you are typing in online now, Sikhs in business or anything like that, our site's popping up at the top. It's getting the exposure. People are getting to see it. We've had interviews with Sikh women in business, for example, as well, who have been asked a set of questions. They've given us the information. We've put it on the site, and then they've gone on to get picked up by other media,
right, to
get exposure for whatever they're doing as well. So
it sounds like a fantastic platform, but Sukhi, why was it important for you both, because you're the co-founders of SikhEntrepreneurs.com, to focus on the faith of somebody to talk about what they're doing, whether it's in business or the inspirational work that they're doing on a day-to-day?
Thank you so much for asking such a good question. I think, realistically speaking, there's an awful lot of Sikh exposure probably in Asia, as we know, even in Australia, for example, and America. And the Americas, North America, Canada, etc. But Brits don't seem to, we seem to be sort of a bit lagging behind on our own exposure, even for the manifestos and stuff of that sort of nature, where we're talking about Sikh issues and stuff. We tend to sort of take a back burner after the heats, after it's all gone through. The situation that we both felt, both Jatinder and I, we sat down and we had a good think about the fact that there are a number of, well, the thought that we've got is very simple. The people who shout loudest get noticed, and that's specifically within business as well. So we found that as individuals who shout loudest, they may sometimes not even be the real deal, or they're just basically using it for their own PR purposes. But there's an awful lot of talent out there within the Sikh community, not just Sikh community, Asian community, the whole Asian plethora, but there's a hidden talent within the Sikhs, and one of us is actually Nimratans and Nishkam, and also Seva. So a lot of people don't actually sit there and expose themselves. So we both basically had a good debate about this over a period of time, because Jatinder has a background of digital experience, and he's actually an expert in this field. He helps with digital exposure, how people can maintain their presence, etc. And I have a background in business. I run about 17 companies over my years, and try to create a mentoring circle of trying to keep people encouraged to do better. So it was just a natural progression to take what we call mindfulness or self-development, as well as taking key business skills, strategies, and amalgamating them. So we've actually created something like a forum being slightly different, where we're helping people as well.
Right.
But individuals don't get exposed usually. So this is a Nishkam type process where we're not out there to try and get our name put out heavily. Our main intention in life is actually just to expose people who are doing great things within communities as a whole. Currently, the most logical step would be that we're Sikhs, that we run with a Sikh entrepreneur. But everybody in the Sikh entrepreneur are actually entrepreneurs, either getting into business, either thinking about the next idea, focusing themselves on how they're actually developing themselves going forth. People already established, and people who are actually in the speaking environment, actually influencing environment. People have been registered, recommended by, or recognized by the Turban List and things of that sort of nature, actually making change on the planet. And I think it's just another element of Seva. It's a free site. It's really, the momentum has been amazing, to be honest. I mean, the natural momentum that's been going through this has been brilliant.
Now, when you talk about Sikh entrepreneurs, do they have to follow the faith, or do they just have to be associated with a Sikh family just by name, or do you look for a bit more when it comes down to calling it a Sikh entrepreneur? Maybe they're not.
No.
Maybe they're not practicing Sikh. They just happen to have Sikh in their name, and they were born to a family. So, is religion a part of that criteria, or does it mean no, you're part of our community, no matter in whatever form you are in?
Do you know, that's a lovely question. Can I answer?
Yeah.
Basically, 100% no. It's an open forum. It's basically for Sikhs, practicing or non-practicing.
Right.
Doesn't take away from our Guru Nanak Dev Ji when he said, well, whatever faith you're born into is what you're in.
Right.
So we run very, very humbly within the philosophy of keeping neutral grounds. It's by no means what we classify as a very formal religious site. We promote. We've got sister sites that people, if are interested, there's wahiguru.com, wahigurushabats.com, sorry. We have Sikh, Inspired Sikhs.co.uk and .com. So there are other ways of being much more practiced if you wanted to. This is actually about being honest with yourself. It's just about applauding goodness. It's about the ethics of Sikhi, where we're just trying to get people exposed, because we're probably the worst to shout out, to be honest. That's from my experiences and what we've learned. We don't really shout out too much about what we're really up to. And sometimes the ones who are the quietest ones are the ones who deserve to be popped onto a platform which is being very readily viewed.
I think that's really a good point, the fact that, it's known within this country. We've even had Winston Churchill talk about the Sikh community and how hard-working we are, and how commendable it is in the kind of works that we've done over the years, whether it's in World War I, World War II. Of course, we've had David Cameron most recently talking about the Sikh community and how much we do provide and give to the economics of this country and business and contribute in that way. Why is it then, do you think, Jatinder, that the Sikh community tends to, although within its own community it tends to be very loud, but outside of that, in the wider community, in the British community, the Sikh community doesn't really tend to shout about their achievements and their contributions?
I think a lot of that probably does come from kind of Sikh ethos in the sense of nimrata, so not having ego and all that kind of stuff. So I think on one level, we don't want to be making such a big noise, say, we're here in this country, we're part of the community, we're not separate, we are part of the community, we're all one, right? It doesn't matter what your background is. I think that's one of the elements of it. I think within the community is because it's like family, isn't it? So in the family, there's banter, there's always going to be something going on like that. But outside, it's like, it's just a bit, we're not here to kind of impress upon people, so we're just like, we'll get on with stuff, let's get on with it. We have that nimrata, that humility in us. And I think that's what it is. But there's also, there's a balance of that as well, because we're very good at what we do. So in a way, why not bring that out and they say, look, this is what we're up to. We are part of the community here. We're born and bred here, right? So this is our home. So we're contributing towards that, and it doesn't matter what your background is.
So outside India and Punjab, in itself could be questioned that we don't promote enough of our Sikh community there. But outside of our place of origin, what country does it best, in your opinion? That shouts about Sikhs and supports them, recognizes them, awards them, and very much supports our community. I say our community, but we're part of the British community, but I am part of the Sikh community. I do believe myself to be a Sikh. So part of our community, I would say today.
I think the emerging trend is coming from the States and Canada, that side of the world.
Right.
Because they're so much more, it's like everything that seems to happen when it comes to the personal development, the business world, it tends to happen from that side of the world. Right. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the States, in Canada, where they are actually expressing Sikhi a lot more. There's that guy, what's his name, the one member of parliament in Canada recently he's joined.
He's doing Ratan Singh?
Very smart looking Sikh.
That's right, and he's if you listen to some of the stuff he talks about, he is an inspirational speaker. He's getting out there. I think in those countries they are starting to talk about it a lot more, and then UK tends to follow afterwards.
But then
although we've had Sikhs in Parliament a lot, longer than the Canadians and Lords, of course, and yet you're absolutely right. It's not something that, if we were to talk to our generation of Sikhs, perhaps first or second generation, they wouldn't even possibly know that.
Yes.
I mean, you know, we of course had last year the centenary where we were remembering 100 years since World War I. And if we were to a moment remove the British community, our own Sikh community didn't know how many hundreds of thousands of Sikhs fought in World War I as part of the British Empire. So there is something to be said about that. How far do you think SikhEntrepreneurs.com goes towards doing that, though? Because at the moment it is an online forum. How far are you looking to kind of bring this out? Are you hoping to, I don't know, have a published book with names? Or is it still an online community where people can interact and meet each other?
I think basically with the published book and names and things, it's not really the way we're going to be going. I'll explain, because Sikh Directory, he does a brilliant job already, and he's doing the Sikh Awards, and we respect that considerably. There's no need in Sikhi for us to all just to try to have our own little say on things. If somebody's doing it well, we should be supporting them as an organisation. So where is Sikh Entrepreneur going? The reality is that we're here to try and connect the dots where people actually have a forum to connect with each other. We're taking the distance away from active connection with people. So, for example, you might have somebody who is a healed business person or a politician of some kind, and sometimes just to get hold of them is quite an awkward way, quite hard to get hold of them. Obviously, there's features such as LinkedIn now, but in the next 6 months, we'll be launching the membership site, where the individuals who are being featured must be members as well. And most importantly, other members will be able to make direct contact with them. So we're trying to basically reduce that distance from contact, so that actually the people who are doing things can actually help other people quicker, as opposed to having to go through so many what we classify as red tape or closed doors. That's one of our missions. And the second mission is very, very clearly that we want to have resources that can be given openly and freely to the Sikh community and other communities soon, so that they can actually evolve their mindsets, their brains, and the way they're thinking and seeing things. I think that's principally where we're going with this process. And then we've Inspired Talks, which is another site. The people who are the Sikhs who are actually presenters like yourself, who will hopefully host, talk, inspire other people, will be showing them as well. So
you know what? It sounds like a brilliant platform for our community and the Sikh community itself, and for the British community, that how much we do in this country as well, and how much we are not just in the background, we are the forefront of entrepreneurship and enterprise. But thank you so much. We will catch up with you hopefully in the next year, bigger and better and stronger, and if you can make time for us. And it's amazing. So could you just look on the camera and just give us your websites?
Yes, one of our websites is SikhEntrepreneur.com.
Yeah, one of the other ones is InspiredSikhs.com.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with you, if someone's watching Brit Asia right now and is thinking, my God, my uncle, my sister, my niece, my daughter, or even I would be really good for this, because they've never known about SikhEntrepreneurs.com. What's the best way for them to get in contact if they want to make recommendations, whether it's for their own family members, network, or themselves?
Just the website. Just go to the website. There's a contact form on there. Just put your details in there. We're looking for content all the time. So if there is stuff you want to submit, go for it. Let us know. We'll publish it.
Fantastic.
There's one really key thing, again, Sikhs, Nimrata and stuff of that nature. A lot of the time, a lot of our community don't really want to expose themselves. So if you're a relative or a friend or a brother or a sister, get hold of their information, put it onto the site, forward it to us, and we'll do our utmost best to get it out to the public.
Jatinder, Sukhi, thank you so very much for coming in. We wish you all the best, and we definitely would love to get you back in as the site develops and grows. It sounds like a great online community, something that I think has been needed for a very long time.
Now, you are watching The Big Bite here on Brit Asia TV. If you want to get involved with this first segment of the show, feel free to get in touch with us here on Brit Asia TV.
You certainly can. Drop us an email, info@britasia.tv. We'll be right back straight after the break.